Hi everybody, welcome back to Imagination Station. I've been thinking, it's summer, it's warm out. I wonder if our imaginations are getting a little dried out. And today's Bible buddy is Finn, a rainbow trout. So I asked him, what would he do about that? And he said, well, I think you should get him to do something fishy. That will bring their imagination back to being wet and ready to go. So what I want you to do, and we're going to practice this a little bit, we're going to imagine that we're fish. And I want all of you to put on your very best fish face. I'll see if I can do it for you first, but I'll have to warn you, I always start to laugh. So here we go. Now, if that wasn't challenging enough for you, I want to know if you know where you were born. Do you have any idea where you were born? Maybe you want to ask your mom or dad or grandma or something. Let's find out where we were born, because I should tell you this. Rainbow trout are from the salmon family, and they actually go back to where they were born to have their babies. Isn't that amazing? I wonder how they know where they were born. But they go back to the very same river or very same lake where they were born, and that's where they have their babies. So let's go ask where we were born and see if we can practice our fish face. And while we do that, say where we were born. Take a minute and do that. Find out where you were born. Okay, did you find out where you were born? I was born in Milwaukee. So now I'm going to try to make my fish face and say where I was born. And then I want you all to try it too, okay? So here's my fish face. Milwaukee. I don't know, but that's the best I can do. So go ahead and see what you can do now on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You did it? How did it turn out? I hope better than mine did. It's fun to stand in front of the mirror and do it. But it's hard because you want to laugh. So now for today's question. Rainbow trout have teeth. Amazing. But do they have only upper teeth or only lower teeth? Let's do a drum roll for that answer. Rainbow trout have only teeth on the roof of their mouth. Isn't that interesting? I'm amazed. And you know, I did look up some facts on rainbow trout. They can live up to 60 years. If some fisherman doesn't catch them, that is. So, today's PowerPoint is Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus. Woo, woo. And it lets us live forever. Jesus lets us live with him in heaven. And the Bible says heaven is an amazing place. Actually, on earth, sometimes it gets a little rough for us. Do you remember when we were talking about some of the things that happen to children your age, like bullying and sadness and things like that? Well, one of the hardest times I ever had to go through was really difficult for me, was when I broke my wrist. Now, normally a broken wrist wouldn't be that bad, but when I got up after falling, my hand wasn't at the end of my arm. It had jumped to the side. So I had to go to the hospital, and first they tried to hang me by my fingers to put it back where it belonged, but that didn't work. So then I had to go in and I had to have surgery. And then I had to wear a cast I think the cast was on for 6 weeks, but I think it took 12 weeks for this to heal. And it was really hard. There were many things I had difficulty doing. So sometimes when things happen like that, you have to make a decision. Do we ask God to help us get through these hard times? Or do we do things like pout and cry and get angry and, why me, that kind of thing? But if you ask God to help you, believe me, He will. He helped me get through it. So sometimes life is filled with hard things, like this water bottle is filled with water. Well, one day our lives on earth are going to end. And that seems really sad, doesn't it? But also, when our lives on earth end, our sadness will end. And sickness will end. And bullying will end. Because with Jesus, there will be no more tears, no more sorrow, and when we go to be with Jesus in heaven, there will be only joy, happiness, and love. Jesus' power lets us live forever with Him in heaven. What a wonderful, wonderful gift we have. Okay, you're going to love today's gizmo. I think it was so much fun to work with. It takes a little thought, too, and this is it. This is called the perpetual paper. Perpetual. That's a hard word. I can't even say it. It's that hard. Perpetual means that it goes on forever. It's never ending. And on our perpetual paper, you'll notice in the lower right-hand corner here, there was a place to draw a little picture. Okay, the animal, our Bible buddy here, is Ramsey. And do you remember what Ramsey kind of told us? With Jesus' power, we can do hard things. So I drew my picture of my broken arm, which was my hard thing to do. My picture of my broken arm. Now, I want you to have Ramsey on the front of your perpetual papers. Lay it out the way you see it here. Okay? And that will remind us that Jesus' power helps us do hard things. Now I want you to open it like a book, like you would open a book. And here we have Ava. Do you remember what Ava reminded us of? That Jesus gives us hope. And on Ava, you can write a note thanking Jesus for giving you hope. Then you're going to fold the bottom up and the top down. And who do we have? Sierra. Remember what Sierra taught us? That Jesus helps us to be bold. And finally, we're going to open it like a book again. And we have Finn. Finn, who tells us or reminds us that Jesus' power lets us live forever. Do you want to go through that again just to see how to open it up? We'll start with Ramsey. Okay, you have Ramsey there. And on that one, you draw a picture of some hard thing you had to do. Jesus helps us do hard things. Then Ava, fold the bottom. Okay, and Ava reminds us that Jesus gives us hope. Sierra, she reminds us that Jesus helps us to be bold. And finally, Finn reminds us that Jesus' power lets us live forever. Okay, you can use your perpetual paper now to retell the story of what our vacation Bible school was like. You can be bold and you can tell your friends about Jesus and what you learned and how Jesus' love for us is perpetual. It never ends. Isn't that marvelous?
On a hill far away. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down, and I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross, where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down, and I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Thanks everybody for coming and joining me again and making those adorable fish faces. And be sure to tune in again on Wednesday for KidVid. See you then. Bye.